Little Nightmares fans as well as me are rejoicing as Little Nightmares 3 has been confirmed at Gamescom in an announcement trailer that showcases co-op as a key gameplay element. This new addition to the Little Nightmares series gives fans of horror and platforming games a fresh release to look forward to next year. Gamescom 2023 is off to a booming start with a vast number of major announcements already released from established gaming studios and indie developers. Among them are Bandai Namco and Supermassive Games, who just confirmed Little Nightmares 3 for a 2024 release. The official announcement trailer for Little Nightmares 3 gives fans a solid look at what to expect in the next sequel in the Little Nightmares franchise. Similar to the previous two installments, the main characters are shown as small yet adventurous characters who must traverse through a massive environment, solving curious puzzles and surviving perilous leaps along the way. While familiar gameplay elements like climbing rickety ladders and evading monstrous enemies were shown, Little Nightmares fans also got to see the game's new co-op mechanic. Two small characters are shown holding hands, helping one another, and even leaping through a mirror together while journeying through a new hazardous world. Fans can also spot distinct tools carried by each character, one with a bow and arrows and the other bearing a large wrench. Little Nightmares 3 will have not one but two protagonists, allowing for solo play with an AI partner or online multiplayer co-op with a friend. This marks a massive new change to the gameplay of Little Nightmares, as both the first and second games in the series were limited to single player. The potential use of dedicated tools will also be new, as previously items were limited in use and were lost when advancing between levels. The Little Nightmares franchise boasts a story told across various forms of media, including console and PC titles, mobile games, mobile comics, and an official comic book series. Across its various game offerings, only one figure has been present in every entry, Six, whom players first met as the playable protagonist of the original Little Nightmares in 2017. Whether she is featured as the lead protagonist, a mysterious ally, or an endangered captive, Six has played a prominent role in each Little Nightmares title. That said, Little Nightmares 2 made it clear that there is much more to Six than meets the eye. Little Nightmares 2 served as a prequel to the original title. Players were tasked with navigating an original protagonist, Mono, through various horrifying settings, while aided by an AI companion, Six. Over the course of the title's narrative, Mono and Six develop a bond, with each saving the other from a certain demise while pursued by the mysterious Thin Man. However, that all changed in Little Nightmares 2's third act. Little Nightmares 2's final boss consists of Mono attempting to calm Six, in order for her to get back under control and return to her normal form. Mono is successful, leading the two to nearly escape the nightmarish realm they're trapped in. However, the title's final moments reveal that Six was only using Mono to escape. Once she is free of the facility, she allows Mono to fall into the fleshy abyss below. Abandoned, Mono is eventually revealed to be the true identity of the Thin Man, as his time alone shapes him into a monster. While Little Nightmares 2 is the latest entry in the mainline series, the original Little Nightmares portrays the most recent depiction of Six chronologically. In Little Nightmares, Six is followed by a mysterious figure, seen at the end of Little Nightmares 2, while plagued by an otherworldly hunger. The title takes place in the Maw, a mysterious nautical vessel, and sees Six attempt to escape the vessel's guests and various crew members. Across her journey, players see Six become more and more insatiable, devouring food, gnomes, and the game's final boss, the Lady. The Lady is characterized by her aversion to mirrors, culminating in Little Nightmares' final confrontation, in which Six uses a large unbroken mirror to subdue her. With a similar mirror being featured in Little Nightmares 3's reveal trailer, it appears that players could encounter a new, more powerful threat in Six. As the character now boasts the supernatural gifts of the Lady, as well as her own monstrous abilities, Little Nightmares 3's protagonists might face the most frightening foe the series has seen yet. Publisher P-Cube and developer Dual Effect have announced survival horror game sequel Tormented Souls 2 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC in 2024. Tormented Souls 2 brings back main character Caroline Walker to stalk the halls of haunting monasteries and other nightmarish locations. Brace yourself to confront terrifying creatures armed only with makeshift weapons as you desperately try to rescue your cursed sister. The sequel is set in a monastery located in a remote South American community named Porta Miller. It once again brings back classic survival horror gameplay with puzzles and intense battles. In a world where every shadow could conceal an unspeakable horror, you'll need to pick your battles and carefully manage your scarce resources in order to survive, a press release says. Caroline Walker is back in the sequel to one of my favorite games of all time in a survival horror classic. In the wake of the Wildberger Hospital incident, Caroline yearns for a normal life. However, fate has other plans and Caroline's sister Anna falls victim to a mysterious affliction. Conventional remedies prove futile as Anna slips in and out of consciousness, only waking to cough up inky globs of blood. With nowhere else to turn, Caroline looks to the supernatural and an ancient, forbidden ritual. Porta Miller, a remote South American community with a disturbing past, was founded centuries ago by the secretive MWIII tribe, a minor religious order that spurned connection with the outside world. But beneath the town's crumbling facade lies an ancient, unspeakable horror. Guide Caroline through the shadowy halls of an infamous monastery, and stumble into nightmarish locations seemingly from another world. Tormented Souls 1 is a great experience that every gamer should embrace, and the sequel seems to take things in a more gothic way. I loved the announced trailer, the church, the art style, music and the atmosphere. Definitely Little Nightmares 3 and Tormented Souls 2 are both day one experiences that shouldn't be missed. A slew of new Tekken 8 information was just revealed during Gamescom 2023's opening night, including its release date, a new game mode, and some pre-order bonuses. The latest installment of Bandai Namco's 3D fighting game series was formally announced last September, following an ominous teaser trailer at EVO 2022. Since then, details about Tekken 8 have been slowly coming to the surface, with director Katsuhiro Harada promising a much more aggressive experience thanks to the game's new heat gauge system. Story-wise, Tekken 8 will mark a brand new chapter in the legendary Mishima family feud, with longtime Tekken arch-villain Heihachi Mishima now dead and remaining members Jin Kazama and Kanzuya Mishima left to continue their battle in his wake. Over the past few months, Bandai Namco Studios has revealed several characters who will be returning in Tekken 8 alongside a host of new and refined gameplay mechanics like Tekken 8's new special style and the returning Rage system. However, the developer has remained tight-lipped on when players should expect to play Tekken 8, at least until Gamescom 2023. Longtime Tekken director Katsuhiro Harada and producer Michael Murray joined Gamescom 2023 host Jeff Keighley on stage during the opening night livestream to discuss Tekken 8 and reveal a wealth of new information about the upcoming fighting game blockbuster. Harada announced that Tekken 8 will have a brand new game mode, one that will focus on the player themselves as they navigate a virtual arcade that aims to recreate the classic feel of playing Tekken at a mall. This mode, called Arcade Quest, was briefly shown during a subsequent Tekken 8 trailer and appears to have players create a custom avatar and compete against AI opponents. Arcade Quest wasn't the only new thing shown off in the latest Tekken 8 gameplay trailer, as viewers were treated with more glimpses into the game's story and roster of 32 unique playable characters. While many of these characters were already revealed before Gamescom, some returning fan favorites were unveiled for the very first time, such as the eccentric samurai warrior Yoshimitsu. Finally, Tekken 8's release date of January 26, 2024 was revealed at long last, with pre-orders being available on August 22. Those who order one of Tekken 8's 3 editions ahead of time will be rewarded with an Arcade Quest costume modeled after Paul Phoenix, with another pair based on Makujin and Tetsujin being exclusive to PlayStation users. Fans have been waiting a long time to find out when Tekken 8 will launch. And while it is a few more months away, at least it will no longer be released in the already crowded 2023 fighting game landscape. Arcade Quest also looks like an interesting addition to Tekken 8, and players will likely get more clues about how it enhances the overall Tekken experience in the run-up to January. The Gamescom opening night live showcase may not have been the most thrilling gaming event of the year, but it still had plenty of announcements and updates to keep fans of all genres happy. By far one of the biggest reveals of the entire Gamescom showcase was Cyberpunk 2077's Phantom Liberty DLC, which gave fans their first proper look at the gameplay improvements and tweaks that are coming with the expansion in September. But while the trailer itself was incredibly exciting, hype levels reached a new height when CD Projekt Red took to the Gamescom stage to announce that the vast majority of these new gameplay features would also be coming to Cyberpunk 2077's base game, at least for those on current-gen consoles and PC. Named the 2.0 update, this Cyberpunk 2077 patch is set to overhaul a slew of gameplay mechanics, ranging from skill trees to vehicle combat to enemy AI, and it's all coming to the game for free on September 26th. Coming right alongside the Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty expansion on September 26th, Update 2.0 will drastically change the current Cyberpunk gameplay experience for the better. One of the biggest overhauls coming in the 2.0 update is the redesigned perk and cyberware system. The most recent Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty trailer showcased some of the new perks coming with Update 2.0, and they all look suitably impressive. There's a perk that allows players to deflect bullets with a sword, a slow-mo air dash, Deadeye, and a handful of new finishers. Cyberpunk 2077's 2.0 update is also adding a relic skill tree, and the trailer showed off a few of these new abilities as well. There's a limiter removal relic, which seemingly allows players to launch foes into the air with their bare fists. A spatial mapping relic that points out enemies and allows players to dash quickly towards them, and a launch capacity override, which lets players fire multiple wrist launcher grenades in quick succession. Another major gameplay addition presumably included in Update 2.0 is vehicle combat. Originally, Cyberpunk 2077 had no form of vehicle combat at all, but with Update 2.0, players will finally be able to engage enemies while driving, and in quite a few different ways. Players will be able to pop their head out the window and fire off a few rounds from a pistol, spin their car around while firing out machine guns like in 007 No Time to Die, and even hack enemy vehicles, causing them to suddenly accelerate, brake, or even self-destruct. This system goes hand in hand with Cyberpunk 2077's revamped police AI system, which sees the game's cops behave much more realistically. Cyberpunk 2077's 2.0 update will also come with over 100 new items, ranging from new weapons, to new pieces of clothing, to new cyberware, to new vehicles. While it hasn't been specifically stated just how much of this is coming to the base game as part of Update 2.0, it seems likely that everything mentioned here will be available as part of the free update. However, features like the dozens of new story quests and gigs, a dangerous new district, and maybe even the endless dynamic events and missions, are more likely to be locked behind the Phantom Liberty expansion. CDPR has now provided another glimpse of what fans can expect from Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, delivering it in the form of a 3-minute video detailing new playing styles that the incoming expansion will introduce. Chief among them is a full-fledged vehicular combat system enabling players to use both melee and ranged weapons while driving, allowing for much more fluid action. And while CDPR already confirmed this addition as part of its Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty feature overview in June, the Gamescom 2023 video revealed some previously unseen uses of the vehicle combat mechanics, including the ability to initiate a jumping attack from a motorcycle. Road combat will also include built-in vehicle weapons like rocket launchers and machine guns that wouldn't look out of place in a 007 movie, as well as additional quick hacks. The 2023 Gamescom promo revealed 3 such new abilities: self-destruct, floor it, and emergency brake. Apart from those self-explanatory names, the video also confirmed that self-destruct will be a fairly expensive quick hack, requiring 15 Cyberdeck RAM sticks to use, while the other 2 abilities will cost 6 sticks each. Once the road carnage gets going, the players will inevitably attract the attention of the NCPD, which is when the new police system kicks in. Police units in Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty will no longer spawn out of thin air, but instead be called to intercept the player from nearby districts. The NCPD will also be able to set up road barricades and call in max TAC if the player manages to reach the maximum, 4th wanted level. Apart from providing an overview of the new gameplay mechanics, the Gamescom 2023 promo also suggested that the upcoming DLC won't necessarily introduce new fixers to the hit RPG. Namely, the video revealed that V will receive their welcome to Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty's Dogtown from Mr. Hands, who was already an established character in the base game. While CD Projekt Red has already done quite a bit to save Cyberpunk 2077, Update 2.0 finally seems like the monumental push forward that many fans have been waiting for, and the fact it's only a month out now is very exciting. 505 Games has officially announced that Ghostrunner 2, the sequel to its 2020 sci-fi title, will be in stores in October. This year has already seen a fair share of hits with a slew of highly anticipated games to come in the next few months, particularly in October. While it remains to be seen how the timeline will pan out for Ghostrunner 2, its launch will now pit it against a few other high-profile games. Following its release on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, the original Ghostrunner saw a notable success, especially after its next-gen upgrade to the PS5 and Xbox X and consoles. Even as the game received post-launch updates in the form of new modes and cosmetic DLCs, it didn't take long for fans to set expectations for a follow-up title. By May 2021, 505 Games announced that a Ghostrunner sequel was in the works. Although not much has been said about the title since then, the studio stated that fans could expect Ghostrunner 2 by around Q4 in 2023. Now, as leaks begin to make their way online, 505 Games has officially announced that the sequel will release on October 26. This was followed by opening up pre-orders for Ghostrunner 2 with 3 editions on offer: the standalone title at $40, a deluxe edition at $50, and a brutal edition at $70, which will give players 48 hours early access to the game. Additionally, fans pre-ordering Ghostrunner 2 will be offered a variety of cosmetic items for each version of the game. The pre-order trailer also gives a taste of what's to come in the Ghostrunner sequel, particularly with regard to its story, gameplay, and mechanics. Here, players will see the cyber ninja protagonist jack away from the death trap of Dharma Tower for the first time and explore the wasteland beyond. As 505 Games put it, the sequel promises to up the ante from the original in every conceivable way, which incidentally includes motorcycle combat in Ghostrunner 2. The developer further teases that the upcoming title will also be packed with new powers, upgradable abilities, traversal mechanics, an expanded narrative, deeper world building, and devilish new enemies. Interestingly, Ghostrunner 2 is only the latest title to hit an October release date in an already packed month, including Assassin's Creed Mirage, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Spider-Man 2, The Lords of the Fallen, Metal Gear Solid Collection, Sonic Superstars, and Forza Motorsport, to name a few. Recently, even Alan Wake 2 pushed its launch amid the slew of October titles. In any case, gamers will have an exciting few months ahead. Sonic Superstars has revealed its release date at Gamescom opening night live, and alongside it has come the release date for Sonic Frontier's final free DLC update. In 2 brand new trailers, fans were given a taste of the 2D platforming action that they can expect once the next Sonic game releases, as well as a quick glimpse into the new story coming to Frontiers that wraps up its post-launch updates. For fans of the Blue Blur, Frontiers was likely a big surprise, as only Sonic Superstars was teased by Jeff Keighley before the event. As surprising as the DLC update was, Sonic Superstars had far more to reveal. The Gamescom trailer showcased a circus stage, a section where the colorful cast have to fly and jump to hit specific spinning targets, and even the previously talked about multiplayer online battle mode. While Sonic Superstars lacks online co-op during its main campaign, in the battle mode, players can customize their own little robot to play as with a number of parts that they likely unlock during the main adventure that fans can dive into rather soon. At the end of the preview that points out all the fun things Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy will get up to in their next adventure, it's revealed that players can expect Superstars to hit store shelves on October 17th. However, if fans had been paying attention to the rumblings surrounding the game, they may have known this already, as Sonic Superstars' release date was leaked by GameStop shortly after its initial reveal. This leaves the latest 2D game in the series in a bit of an interesting spot, though, as October also marks the release of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Shortly before that, however, modern Sonic fans get to go one more round with the Titans of Sonic Frontiers as the final DLC pack launches on September 28th. While all players got to see of what's called the Final Horizon update at Gamescom was a brief teaser, it reveals that Sonic, as well as his friends and enemies, need to work together to defeat one last threat. A press release from Sega also confirms that Sonic Frontiers is getting new playable characters in the form of Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, while the trailers implies that Sonic has a brand new super form on the way. Fans knew about the Final Horizon beforehand, as it was a key part of Frontiers' DLC roadmap that was revealed just short of a month after the game's launch. On the roadmap itself, the third update was said to feature a brand new story while also bringing new playable characters to Sonic Frontiers. This announcement put particular focus on Amy, Knuckles, Tails, and Sage, which led many to speculate just how many of them would get the same treatment as Sonic himself. The first Sonic Frontiers update leaked the truth to this question fairly early on, however, as data miners were able to find files sought to make Tails, Amy, and Knuckles playable. This means that Sage being placed on the teaser image for the third update likely implies that she'll play a large role in the final Horizon story, which is understandable after Frontiers' ending and true ending. Now that players know more about the final DLC update, it's made evidently clear that the final Horizon will have more content than fans originally expected. While it's reasonable that fans could think that the time that players would get to spend with these new playable characters would run short, but the final Horizon trailer seems to tease that Sonic will need his friends to defeat the end once and for all, as it's possessing a new titan of some kind. According to a Japanese press release, playing as Tails, Knuckles, and Amy may lead to a new ending of the base game. A new detail about the third DLC was revealed that states it'll add new challenges alongside everything else. These challenges are likely the same as those added in previous updates, such as the Open Zone Challenge, Battle Rush, and Cyberspace Challenge. All three of these modes gave players a lengthy, and fittingly named, experience that took time to master in order to unlock new features such as Sonic's Spin Dash. It isn't known what the final Horizons challenge mode will be like, but it'll likely come with its own reward for S-rank completionists. However, it's hard to say just what this reward may be, as players can already spin dash and power boost to their heart's content in extreme difficulty once all the challenge modes currently in the game have been cleared. There is one avenue that the game can go with, though, and that would be making Super Sonic accessible on the islands where fans have collected all the Chaos Emeralds, including the new blue-eyed form revealed in the trailer. No matter what reward awaits players at the end of the final Horizon and its challenge mode, fans should prepare themselves for a sizable update that matches the other two, if not bigger. All the updates added new Coco, quality of life improvements, and even more music for Sonic Frontiers Jukebox. While the third update will likely focus on the playable characters and story, there will probably be tons of new things for players to discover once it arrives. Sonic fans have quite a lot of new content coming in the next few months to keep them busy for the next while. As Sega's mascot speeds through his games, there's also comics and the new Sonic Prime TV show to enjoy both before and after the release of Frontiers DLC and Sonic Superstars. There are likely even more surprises to come from the series in the future that have yet to be seen, so fans should keep their eyes out. A brand new trailer for Persona 3 Reload has just been shared by Atlus, and the company has finally revealed February 2, 2024, as the official release date of the RPG's upcoming remake. The trailer also shared important highlights of the game, including specific characters in Persona 3 and pre-order bonuses, giving players more incentive to check out the RPG when it launches. It has only been a couple of months since Atlus officially revealed that it was remaking the role-playing game. However, the Persona fan base seems to have already been expecting the announcement, given how abundant leaks and rumors are within the community. And even though the Japanese company had only released the port of Persona 3 Portable from the Sony PSP to other platforms in January 2023, fans will probably be elated that their call for a modernized remake of the RPG was heard and taken to heart by Atlus. In a recently uploaded Persona 3 Reload trailer, Atlus announced that the remake's official launch date is on February 2, 2024. The trailer also included new footage of the RPG's gameplay, highlighting the main character's interactions and cutscenes with other Persona 3 NPCs such as Ken Amada, Koromaru, Aegis, and Shinjiro Aragaki. Snippets of the battle system and dungeon crawling were also showcased in the trailer's footage, and at the end, Atlus shared information about bonuses and limited editions that will probably interest many of the franchise's fans. Both the official Japanese and English websites of the video game were also updated to reflect the different editions that are up for grabs. Japan is getting an exclusive Persona 3 Reload limited box which comes with SES armband, costume DLC, artbook, and OST, and can come bundled with an Aegis figure. This costs 17,380 yen or $120 without the figure, or 22,880 yen, which is roughly $160 with the Aegis statue. An Aegis edition has also been listed on the English site with almost the exact same bonuses, minus the exclusive SES armband. Major retailers have already posted the price for the English version of the Aegis edition, which is $200, but there is currently no listing for a limited edition box that does not come with the figure on the English site. For those looking to get digital versions of the game, bonuses include a mix of the OST, artbook, and Persona 3 Reload Costume DLC. Standard editions that only include the base game are also available for pre-order. Given that the release date of Persona 3 Reload is still a few months away, players have time to deliberate about which edition they are willing to shell out for. At Gamescom opening night live, Cygames revealed a release date for its action RPG Granblue Fantasy Relink, which will debut on February 1st for PC, PS5, and PS4. Granblue Fantasy Relink was originally supposed to release this winter, but as the Gamescom ONL trailer revealed, the game has been pushed back into early next year. The project was originally announced at Tokyo Game Show 2016 and is based on the franchise Granblue Fantasy. The standard edition costs $60 and deluxe edition costs $100. Collector's edition comes with a statue and all the items from the deluxe edition, priced at $180. Blizzard has revealed the upcoming Season 2 of Diablo 4 will be titled Season of Blood and will release on October 17, 2023. The Gamescom 2023 trailer also revealed a new Vampire Hunter companion for the players coming to Diablo 4 Season 2. The ongoing Diablo 4 Season of the Malignant follows the story of a mysterious plague that threatened to destroy the sanctuary. With the help of a former priest of the Cathedral of Light, the players must strive to stop the evil from spreading across the land. Blizzard introduced the concept of seasonal and eternal realms with Season 1 and added new items called Malignant Hearts which can be socketed into jewelry and have 4 different variants. Now, it has revealed the teaser trailer for its upcoming season at the Gamescom opening night live event along with some other updates. An announcement on Blizzard's official website has revealed Diablo 4 Season of Blood story that will release on October 17th. Wherein a powerful vampiric Dark Lord raises an army of bloodthirsty vampires to decimate Sanctuary for reasons unknown. The season's trailer reveals that players will need to master vampiric abilities in order to fight the enemies, for which the game is introducing a vampire hunter companion named Ares, who is voiced by Hollywood actress Gemma Chan. Along with this, Season of Blood will also include a new questline for players to follow, but it isn't known if this story is directly related to the aftermath of Lilith's defeat. Aside from this, Season of Blood will also introduce 5 new and returning endgame bosses in the game. Blizzard is also making it possible for players to target farm-specific uniques and uber-uniques in Diablo 4 for both seasonal and eternal realm characters. In addition to this, the highly requested stash filter feature is also arriving with Diablo 4 Season 2. Blizzard also mentioned adding other updates to inventory management, where it is currently working to provide additional stash space in the game. A common complaint players had when the game first launched was that gems were taking up too much inventory space. To rectify this, Blizzard had announced that gems in Diablo 4 will be transferred to the Materials tab sometime in the future, which will now become a reality with Season 2. Other updates include a reworking of the vulnerable, overpower, and critical strike damage systems, along with the carrying forward of renown rewards, skill points, Paragon board, and potion charges to the next season once achieved on any previous eternal or seasonal character. Call of Duty has officially confirmed the title of 2023's entry as Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and also locked in its November release date. This is the first time 2 games from the same Call of Duty subseries are being released back-to-back, as 2022 saw the release of Modern Warfare 2, the sequel to 2019's Modern Warfare reboot. The double dip is allegedly due to the fact that Modern Warfare 3 reportedly began development as DLC for last year's Modern Warfare 2 to hold fans over until Treyarch's next Call of Duty title in 2024. However, it reportedly grew into a full release, becoming Modern Warfare 3. After weeks of heavy speculation, fans who've been thinking Modern Warfare 3 is up next are finally being proven correct. On Twitter, Call of Duty posted a quick 40-second teaser video confirming this year's game as Modern Warfare 3. Additionally, Call of Duty has planted its flag on November 10th for the release of this third, and potentially final, Modern Warfare reboot title. It seems like Call of Duty is already playing off last year's Modern Warfare 2 for Modern Warfare 3's introduction. The teaser began with the iconic green spikes accompanied by sounds of the interior of a commercial airplane, picking up where Modern Warfare 2 left off with franchise villain Makarov entering the picture. The plane's seatbelt sound and the hum of its engine set the scene as a cell phone can be heard vibrating. Sounds of weapons being loaded begin as the green lines start turning red, a refreshing visual choice for the long-standing subseries. Eventually, voices of Task Force 141 enter the soundscape, mentioning themes like cutting heads off snakes and never burying enemies alive as Captain Price's face becomes visible, followed by what seems like Makarov's face. The new trailer announcing the return of Makarov in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 has fans of the franchise hyped for a different reason, as the video features locations from a Warzone map that players have requested for a long time. Accidental revelations or player discoveries are commonplace for the fan-favorite FPS franchise and have spawned several unconfirmed mysteries that ended up as a narrative tool in later instances, such as Bunker 11 in Call of Duty Warzone. Barely 24 hours after the announcement, the publisher confirmed Makarov as the primary threat for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and teased an upcoming trailer to herald the antagonist's arrival. The highly anticipated Makarov reveal trailer showcased snippets from the upcoming campaign, with Captain Price providing insight into Makarov's goals. Some eagle-eyed fans, however, have spotted familiar locations in this short cinematic. Call of Duty Warzone's Verdansk map have been featured in the cinematic, mainly the outskirts of the infamous Zordaya prison complex and both the exterior and the underground parking lot of Verdansk Stadium. The trailer showcases several other locations, including a burning aircraft wreckage and a frozen body of water, but with no discernible features to tie those to Verdansk, even though the map does have matching points of interest. Vladimir Makarov is one of the franchise's most iconic villains besides General Shepard. At the moment, Makarov's plans remain a mystery, but considering his history in the series, his actions will likely have destructive consequences. The story of Modern Warfare 3 will also be different from the 2011 game, considering General Shepard is still alive in this rebooted universe. In the original Modern Warfare 2, Shepard was killed by Soap and the next game had Makarov as the main villain. However, since both Shepard and Makarov are alive in this year's Modern Warfare 3, the game's story could take a very different direction. At the end of the 2022 Modern Warfare 2, it was revealed that Makarov-led ultra-nationalist Russians had disrupted Shepard's plans, which could mean that the upcoming game could have the two antagonists working against each other. Along with Makarov, Warzone Season 5 also confirmed the return of Philip Graves. It was believed that Graves died at the hands of Soap in an explosion, but he is seemingly back from the dead as shown in a recent trailer. Graves' return also has big implications for Modern Warfare 3, considering there are now 3 possible villains for the game. Additionally, Activision has also confirmed that the popular slide cancel feature is also coming back. Whereas the original Modern Warfare trilogy essentially had the full breadth of its story to develop Makarov as a MW villain, fans of the new trilogy will be introduced to the figure for just the final game. This means players are likely to get a large dose of the fanatical terrorist in Modern Warfare 3, who will presumably escape captivity to become involved in the game's global conflict. A lot of this missed backstory can be inferred from the litany of tattoos that Makarov has, especially within the context of Russian prisons. Tattoos among Russian inmates are a kind of service record for the individual. Each one has deep meaning and says a lot about the bearer's history. The sheer amount of tattoos that Makarov has is a dead giveaway for his feared reputation and criminal standing, which is only reinforced by the clear fear other prisoners feel towards him in the trailer. With this reveal trailer zoning in on a few tattoos in particular, a lot of Makarov's backstory in Modern Warfare 3 is seemingly told through his skin. First tattoo that the trailer focuses on is on Makarov's right arm, which is a large Grim Reaper wrapped in barbed wire and wielding a scythe and skull. While this does not have an overt meaning in Russian prison culture, it bears clear connotations of Makarov as the harbinger of death, with barbed wire only reinforcing the severity of his claim. Makarov masterminded the original Modern Warfare 2's infamous, no Russian, terrorist attack, so this tattoo is not to be taken lightly. Skulls bearing their teeth appear all over Makarov's body, which is a sign of resentment for authority in Russian prison circles. This iconography is more overtly stated with Makarov's snarling wolf on his back. This kind of tattoo is called an oskal, meaning big grin, in Russian. Makarov also bears the two-headed Russian eagle, which is a long-standing symbol against the communist regime, reinforcing Makarov's ideas of fanatical revolution in his homeland. Makarov is also shown to have stars on his back, which are a symbol of great power for a Russian prisoner. This is reinforced by Makarov's Kremlin back piece, with the many spires in his tattoo indicating that he has served many sentences. From what has been shown of Makarov's tattoos, it is clear that the figure is already a feared and hardened criminal. With a clear resentment for government and authority, it is easy to see why Makarov is being tipped as a serious force to be reckoned with in Modern Warfare 3. There are several key aspects of the recent Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 that have led fans to speculate about No Russian's return. The trailer revolving around Makarov alone sets an expectation since he is an important figure in the No Russian level. The trailer also features a brief sequence showing civilians running with or from the player, as well as civilian victims of an apparent terrorist attack. Context is removed from this sequence, however, leaving room for doubt. The theory that some Call of Duty fans believe is that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 won't recreate the classic No Russian level. Instead, the new game will feature a different take on No Russian. The original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has one of the most iconic and memorable campaigns in the IP's long history, not only thanks to its memorable characters but its bold narrative direction. In particular, the No Russian mission of MWIII serves as the single most controversial mission in Call of Duty history, leading to mass censorship or outright removal in many countries. The mission sees the player character actively participate in a terroristic mass shooting in a Russian airport, effectively starting World War III in the Modern Warfare's trilogy narrative. At the time, No Russian seriously raised the bar in terms of what fans could expect from Call of Duty, indicating the franchise was prepared to explore much darker and visceral themes than its usual portrayal of conventional warfare. Despite the backlash to No Russian, the mission has undoubtedly served to immortalize Modern Warfare 2's campaign in any discussion of Call of Duty, while elevating Makarov to be one of the most recognizable villains across the entire franchise. With the recent Modern Warfare reboot portraying a lot of classic characters and plot points with its own twist, Modern Warfare 3 could feature its own No Russian with even more controversy. Depending on how similar the moment is to an infamous real-life attack, and how much control players have in the sequence, No Russian 2.0 could be more divisive than the original. The trailer reveals what could be the start of the invasion of Verdansk, a key moment in the current Call of Duty story. The Alcatala attack on Verdansk Stadium may become the setting for No Russian, instead of an international airport in Russia. Another possibility goes back to the ending sequence of 2022's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. In a post-credits scene, Makarov orders the hijacking of an airplane and even goes so far as saying, "No Russian." In the new Modern Warfare 3 trailer, a sequence shows a downed airplane. The two may be unrelated, but at this point, Activision's hints toward the return of the No Russian stage seem undeniable. And if it is in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, it may be different in significant ways, to try and avoid controversy and condemnation. Activision certainly has Call of Duty fans' attention, at the very least. The first entry to the Modern Warfare reboot launched in 2019, setting the tone for the franchise's new direction. Blue was the primary color behind a lot of Modern Warfare's pre-launch promotional material, which had a lot of hidden meaning related to the themes of the title's narrative. Blue is a departure from the consistent green color scheme behind the original Modern Warfare trilogy, indicating the fresh take on the franchise's setting, characters, and core narrative in the 2019 game. The color blue can also represent stability, indicating the calm before the storm that MW portrayed compared to its 2022 successor. Modern Warfare 2 returned to the green color scheme that is synonymous with the original trilogy of games. This perhaps indicated that the trilogy's narrative was entering its core section, with a lot of its plot points and characters naturally overlapping with the original game. MW2's story involves core events such as General Shepard's betrayal and a more cohesive partnership between Task Force 141. So it is clear to see why the release opted for the same color scheme as its 2009 counterpart. With the sheer amount of confirmed information about Modern Warfare 3 in recent days, fans may have overlooked any implicit meaning behind the clear red color theme of the release. The red of Modern Warfare 3 already appears to be much more prominent than the respective blue and green of its predecessors, hinting that MW3's color theme is much more relevant and purposeful. Red is often associated with imminent danger or violence, and there are already a lot of known elements of MW3 that could be the source of this. As the final entry to the trilogy, it is likely that a lot of main characters will lose their pre-existing plot armor, given that the original MW3 involved many deaths of beloved characters. It is already being stressed that iconic Modern Warfare villain Vladimir Makarov will be at the forefront of MW3, with the fanatical figure being a serious threat given his explosive role in the original trilogy. Tension in MW3's campaign will only be heightened by the likely return of Philip Graves, who was thought to be killed in the events of MW2. Graves was recently added as a multiplayer operator, which could mean his survival and continued narrative involvement is all but confirmed. Graves now has a genuine vendetta against Task Force 141, and a team-up between the skilled mercenary and Makarov could spell disaster. With General Shepard also playing a continued antagonist role in the trilogy, the theme of Modern Warfare 3 could give away just how much of a force this trio will be in the game's anticipated campaign. In an interview with the Washington Post, the game's narrative director, Brian Bloom, claimed that the Modern Warfare story will extend beyond this year's game. Bloom also confirmed that several character arcs have a long-term future in the series, and will be instrumental in building future storylines as well. We think of character arcs as going one way, but they can also fall off their arc, they can go backwards, people can evolve and devolve, Bloom explained. They also mentioned how these arcs offer rich, fertile ground to tell stories, and said that the team was just getting started on extending these stories beyond Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Activision has revealed the first mission for its upcoming Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, where players are tasked with rescuing Vladimir Makarov from a prison. This was revealed during the recent Gamescom opening night live, along with some more details about the upcoming Call of Duty Next event and Modern Warfare 3's beta. At Gamescom 2023, a 9-minute gameplay trailer showed the first mission of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, titled Operation 627. The trailer opened with a cutscene of 3 unknown Alpha Team operatives exiting a submarine with full stealth gear to enter a prison complex. According to their comms, there were Bravo and Charlie teams in place to assist them. Moving forward, the team of 3 operatives scaled the prison wall and silently eliminated several guards before gaining access to the prison ground. Shortly after, a massive detonation distracted and alerted all the guards, paving the way for Alpha Team to move into the tunnels leading to Makarov. Upon reaching their objective, they were seen placing a charge on Makarov's heavily fortified prison door, hinting that he was free. While the team was making their way toward Makarov's cell through different levels, they cut the power of the place and put on night vision goggles to eliminate the guards in their way. This was possibly a short preview of the open combat missions coming to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, where players can choose a lights-out stealth approach or make their presence known with loud gunfire and explosions. These missions provide a new way for players to experience the game's campaign, where several objects, weapons, and vehicles in the mission area can be utilized to complete the objective. Apart from popular antagonists, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is also bringing back slide cancel and red dot minimap features. The game will also feature an overhauled zombies mode, which will have an open-world map where players can team up with other squads against the undead. The official Call of Duty blog revealed more information about the game's campaign, where Captain Price led Task Force 141 fights to stop Makarov from inciting another world war. With Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Activision is introducing a concept called Open Combat Missions, which will allow players the freedom to choose their approach to a mission. For instance, players can choose to run a mission with a lights-out approach, using night vision goggles and stealth weapons, or they can go guns blazing as well. Additionally, players will also be able to use all sorts of gear, weapons, and vehicles in the mission area, and will be able to fully customize their gameplay in these open combat missions. Moreover, players who just want a standard Call of Duty campaign experience will be able to enjoy the missions like the previous games as well. Activision has slowly started to pull back the curtain on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, revealing new details on the campaign, zombies, and multiplayer mode, including a brand new combat and movement-based mechanic and 2 loadout customization features. The new wave of information arrived after the Shadow Siege live event in Call of Duty Warzone 2 unveiled the rebooted Modern Warfare trilogy's final chapter while establishing the narrative for the game. Loadouts have long been a Call of Duty staple, with players free to customize their character with every manner of weapon, lethal and tactical gadgets, and perks. The developers at Infinity Ward envisioned and developed an improved version of the standard loadout system with the new Gunsmith feature. Players can customize almost every detail of a weapon via Gunsmith, down to the trigger types and magazine sizes. The Gunsmith was further improved in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, where unlocking an attachment carried over to different weapons of the same receiver type, enabling players to get more benefits from their gameplay. With Gunsmith becoming a core part of the Call of Duty franchise, Activision looks to increase the system's potency by introducing additional features such as evolving loadouts and aftermarket parts. According to the official blog post, aftermarket parts will allow players to construct a weapon to their liking by moving attachments around or changing the movement profile without compromising the damage output. Furthermore, aftermarket parts will offer new progression paths and challenges with appropriate rewards. Additionally, evolved loadouts will allow players to customize their character's gloves, tactical vests, boots, and so on, to fine-tune their in-combat efficiency. While the post is scarce on details, players can likely draw parallels from DMZ-exclusive custom 3-plate vests that allow players to have increased functionalities. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 will introduce a new mechanic called tac stance, which blends movement and combat. The blog post details tac stance as the middle ground between ADS and hip fire, trading aim-down sight accuracy for aggressive, close-quarter-oriented gameplay. Furthermore, tac stance will also be dynamically used during sliding, and players can freely switch in and out of tac stance fluidly while aiming down sights. Alongside the previous 3 features, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 will have open combat missions, an open-world zombies map, and will reintroduce elements such as slide canceling and reload canceling, classic gameplay, 16 classic maps, and map voting. Inside of the official reveal for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Activision also confirms and details the inclusion of a zombie experience with all new features and mechanics. Call of Duty Zombies has been a staple of most games within the franchise, starting with Treyarch's World at War game. The mode has grown in both popularity and content over the years, being featured in more games and expanding in scope to include narratives, maps, progression, Easter eggs, and even celebrity cameos like Jeff Goldblum, John Bernthal, Ron Perlman, and plenty more. After a teaser trailer seemingly teased a zombies mode for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Activision has finally confirmed it and plenty of new details in a new blog post. Alongside the debut gameplay trailer for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Activision posted a detailed blog with new information about the 3 core playlists of campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. In terms of the zombies mode, Modern Warfare 3 features the largest map ever made as players attempt to fight back the Horde on a massive open world. The blurb goes on to tease that this survival extraction mode also contains some of the biggest enemies in Call of Duty history. In addition to the map and enemy size, the blog post reveals that players will experience an involved and unearthly, dark ether story set within the Modern Warfare universe. Missions span across a variety of zones on the map and each region features a different level of difficulty. The blog promises a return of core zombies features and plenty of secrets to uncover as well. This release is also an all-hands-on-deck as the zombies reveal confirmed that Treyarch is handling this side of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, working closely with lead development studio Sledgehammer Games. For the first time in the franchise, Activision is introducing a new mechanic called Carry Forward for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. As the name implies, this system will allow players to transfer their content from a previous Modern Warfare game into the next iteration. The blog specifically states that a player's unlocked weapons, attachments, camos, blueprints, operators, operator skins, cosmetic bundles, emblems, and other rewards will be available to carry forward. Better yet, this includes content from the current version of Call of Duty Warzone 2 as well. Activision confirmed the dates for the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer beta test, which will take place in 2 parts this October. While the game will have an open beta period across all platforms, Activision is also offering early access to the test as part of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 pre-order bonuses. Activision today confirmed that the initial Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer beta for PS4 and PS5 owners will run from October 6th through October 10th. The first 2 days will be reserved for PlayStation users who pre-ordered the shooter, while the remaining period will serve as the game's introductory open beta on Sony's consoles. The developers are then planning another test from October 12th through October 16th. The second beta will also be available to all PlayStation users, as well as Xbox and PC gamers. The early access period for the latter group will run until October 13th, while the final 3 days of the test will be open to all users across every target platform. Activision's upcoming Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 will seemingly get a demo on PlayStation before any other platform. This comes via a trailer posted by Sony's Arabic YouTube channel, which confirmed Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 beta access for PlayStation users, which reads, "Play the demo first on PlayStation." Another bit of text in the photo also confirmed that PlayStation users will get to play the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 demo at least 5 days before any other platform. PlayStation usually has some form of exclusivity deal with every new Call of Duty title, which seems to be continuing with this year's title as well. The Call of Duty Next event returns on October 5, 2023, set to reveal plenty of exciting details about the future of Activision's Call of Duty franchise. It was confirmed during Gamescom opening night live that the big Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer reveal will happen on October 5, with the beta kicking off on October 6 for those with early access on PlayStation consoles. While Call of Duty fans will have to wait until October 5 for the full multiplayer reveal, they can check out the fresh footage of the campaign that was revealed at Gamescom. Call of Duty fans can at least look forward to returning to Verdansk in the Modern Warfare 3 campaign and can plan on learning about the game's multiplayer modes on October 5. Speaking of Call of Duty, after nearly 19 years working at Treyarch, longtime veteran David Vonderhaar has officially left the Call of Duty development studio. The former employee was a studio design director at the studio ever since 2004, with his first credited role in the franchise being Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1 on the PS2. Ever since then, Vonderhaar has been responsible for the development of the multiplayer systems for various Call of Duty games, some of them being the most critically lauded in the franchise. He then became the studio design director for the Black Ops franchise and held this position up until his departure. Some of Vonderhaar's credits for recent releases in the franchise include 2020's Black Ops Cold War along with Call of Duty Warzone, the latter due to Treyarch assisting Infinity Ward with its development and content. While the former studio head was responsible for some of the most acclaimed parts of the franchise, he has left the studio after nearly 2 decades. This announcement was posted to Vonderhaar's linked page, where he shared a sentimental message to both the Call of Duty community and his followers on the website. He thanked the passionate community for their enthusiasm, which he noted helped fuel the developers at the studio. He thanked those who allowed him on board and trusted him with the franchise, expressing his gratitude for the opportunity to interact with many individuals online and in person. Vonderhaar states that he won't be leaving the gaming industry entirely, but his next path is currently unknown. He was such an influential figure within Treyarch that various Call of Duty NPCs and bots in the franchise were named after him. There were some rumors regarding Vonderhaar leaving the Call of Duty studio back in 2019, due to some cryptic tweets that seemed to point towards his eventual departure. These however were deleted shortly afterward, with Vonderhaar staying with the studio for a little bit longer. With a departure as big as Vonderhaar's, Treyarch will likely have to spend some time finding the right person to fill that void. In terms of Call of Duty titles currently in development, Treyarch will be assisting Sledgehammer Games with the 2023 release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Charles Martinet, the longtime voice actor of Mario, will be stepping back from performing in future Super Mario games as the titular character. For the last 30 or so years, Martinet's performance has been the definitive version of Mario's voice. Martinet has voiced Mario ever since 1996, with his first performance as the iconic gaming hero being Super Mario 64. Charles Martinet began his work as Mario for Nintendo in 1991. He's previously said he was the last to audition for the role, and almost missed the opportunity entirely. To start, he did special trade show events where he'd talk with attendees in Mario's voice via a display. His first video game would be the 1992 Super Mario Bros. Pinball machine, followed by 1994's Mario Teaches Typing. Most will recall hearing his voice first in Super Mario 64's 1996 release. Martinet has since starred as Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi, and more in well over 100 Nintendo games. He has continued to do so for every major release and spin-off afterward, though Chris Pratt was chosen as the voice of Mario for the animated movie that released earlier in 2023. Nintendo has recently announced that Martinet will be stepping back from voicing the iconic character in its games. This announcement was posted on Nintendo's Twitter, where it acknowledged Martinet's long career as the voice of Mario. It then revealed that Martinet will be moving into a new role as a Super Mario brand ambassador, which will mean he is stepping back from voicing the character full-time. The tweet stated it was an honor working with Martinet for such a long time, and that a special video announcement that includes Martinet and Shigeru Miyamoto will be posted in the future. This doesn't mean he is stepping away from the Super Mario franchise forever, as Martinet will be traveling around the world and interacting with fans in this new role. The actor shared his own bittersweet message on Twitter, stating that everyone is #1 in his heart. Many people who grew up with Martinet as the voice of Mario thanked him for his long tenure as the character's voice, and hoped that he finds success in his new role. Martinet once stated that he wanted to continue voicing the character for as long as he could, and if he wanted to stop, he'd help Nintendo in finding a successor. Some fans noticed that Mario's voice in the upcoming Super Mario Bros. Wonder sounded a little different, with some wondering if that game will be the last they'll hear of Martinet as Mario, or if it will be potentially the first to feature his successor. For now, this is the end of an era for longtime gamers, with many lamenting that they won't get to hear Martinet voicing Mario in future games. The iconic Atari 2600 console is back, but this time with an added twist. Atari's 50th anniversary was kicked off earlier this year with the release of several new 2600 games. Atari first dropped the 2600 in 1977, where it became the second ever home console to include cartridge-based video games, following the Fairchild Channel F. While the Atari 2600 was popular in its heyday, an influx of shovelware, including an inferior port of the original Pac-Man and the notorious E.T. the Extraterrestrial tie-in game, led to its loss of relevance, and is often cited as the reason behind the 1983 video game industry crash. Despite this, and its discontinuation in 1992, the console has had a surprisingly long lifespan, with succeeding Atari consoles having backwards compatibility with its games, and modern studios still developing software for it. The console itself has also been looked upon fondly by many older gamers, with much of its library seeing re-releases on modern hardware. The official Atari Twitter page shared a short teaser for a new product titled the Atari 2600 Plus, with the caption beginning with, "An icon returns." This new product, set to release on November 17th, is based off the original console, complete with the classic wood grain finish, and is bundled in with a single CX40 Plus joystick. Two-player mode is compatible, but other controllers must be purchased separately, and a cartridge that contains 10 non-licensed 2600 games. The console will be compatible with every Atari 2600 and 7800 cartridge in existence, thanks to its built-in slot. Another new feature is the inclusion of HDMI output. Fans in the comments appeared elated by the news, although some expressed concern at the lack of compatibility with Atari 5200 cartridges, although Atari explained that this was due to their different shape. Several also noted that no release date was listed for non-US territories, but Atari clarified that the 2600 Plus would be available through international purchase. Another fan inquired as to whether unofficial Atari demakes would be compatible, but there was no official response. It also comes with a 10 games in one cartridge featuring some of the system's staples, such as Combat, Adventure, Missile Command, and Yar's Revenge. The Atari 2600 Plus S video output has also been updated, with widescreen support and an HDMI cable. The system sells for $130 and includes one joystick. Additional joysticks are $25. Atari is also selling Atari 2600 paddle controllers with a 4-game bundle for $40, as well as 2 separate games, Berserk Enhanced Edition and the newly created Mr. Run and Jump, for $30 each. At the moment, all of the above products are only available to ship to the United States, but Atari's official website says an international retailer list is coming soon. Atari has also released a game compatibility list detailing which games will run on the Atari 2600 Plus. While it plays most titles, there are a number of untested games, and the 2600 versions of Real Sports Boxing, Super Cobra, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre are unplayable on the system. Such a release should be a very valuable purchase for newbies and veteran gamers alike, especially in the latter's case, seeing how some of their Atari collections might be showing their age or even attracting vermin. Classic game preservation has been a long criticized aspect of the gaming industry, so it's nice to see Atari taking a stab at making things right. Speaking of game preservation, Microsoft has confirmed that it is shutting down the Xbox 360 store on July 29, 2024. The Xbox 360 ushered in the 7th generation of consoles all the way back in 2005 and remains Microsoft's best-selling video game console to date. The 360 was ahead of the PS3 for the first half of that generation, building up an incredible library of games that are still looked back on fondly to this day. Even though the Xbox 360 is 2 generations old now, there are still people that enjoy playing its games. In fact, many Xbox 360 games are readily available to play on both Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S consoles thanks to the backward compatibility program. But while there are many Xbox 360 games available through backward compatibility, there are many others that are only playable on Xbox 360. And unfortunately, fans will be losing the ability to purchase those games digitally starting next year. The Xbox 360 digital marketplace will shut down on July 29, 2024, at which point gamers can no longer purchase new games, DLC, or other content for the console, including movies and TV shows. While gamers will lose the access to purchase games digitally on Xbox 360 beginning July 29, 2024, they will still be able to download content that they've already purchased. The shutdown also does not apply to the Xbox One or Xbox Series X and S consoles, meaning any backward-compatible Xbox 360 games can still be purchased on Microsoft's newer platforms. Microsoft is also keeping the Xbox 360 multiplayer services online for the foreseeable future. There was a great deal of backlash when Sony announced plans to shut down the PlayStation Store on PS3 and after that. The decision was reverted, but it remains to be seen if there will be a similar reaction to the Xbox 360 shutdown. The fact that many big Xbox 360 games are readily available to play on modern Xbox consoles through the backward compatibility program may keep outrage to a minimum, but time will tell. Nintendo didn't even receive any criticisms for the 3DS and Wii U store shutdowns from the major publications and influencers. Microsoft has revealed the next steps in its attempt to get the UK's CMA to approve the pending acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The Competition and Markets Authority, which oversees that country's businesses and anti-competitive behavior, has expressed concerns about the deal since it was first announced in January 2022. In April 2023, the CMA officially moved to block the Activision Blizzard acquisition from going through, which was followed shortly after by an approval from the EU's European Commission. The primary concern for the UK regulator was the potential for Microsoft to gain an unfair advantage in the video game cloud streaming space. Despite the roadblock posed by the UK's decision, both Microsoft and the CMA expressed a desire to come to an agreement. And gamers worldwide have been waiting to see the Xbox giant's new proposal that might appease the UK marketing authority. The amended agreement between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard turns out to be rather unexpected and interesting. In a surprising turn, Microsoft President Brad Smith announced that a new merger application has been filed in the UK that divests the company of cloud streaming rights of ABK Games. Instead, Ubisoft Entertainment will obtain the rights to stream all current and new Activision Blizzard PC and console games released over the next 15 years. This transfer of rights will exist in perpetuity. Ubisoft, which in the past expressed support for Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, shared its involvement at the new development. According to the terms of the new agreement, Activision Blizzard games will become part of the Ubisoft Plus subscription service via cloud streaming. This does seem like a logical decision, considering that Ubisoft Plus is already available on Xbox consoles, through a monthly fee separate from Game Pass, also on PS Plus, and also offers cloud gaming via Amazon Luna. Just where Luna will fit into this new deal, if at all, is unclear. However, Ubisoft has said that it intends to license the Activision Blizzard library of games to other cloud streaming and subscription services. For now, the CMA and United States FTC are the only remaining major hurdles for Microsoft to overcome in completing its acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Even after the CMA's rejection of the deal and a riveting trial between the FTC and Microsoft in June, other countries continued to approve the pending deal. The CMA, for its part, will review and share its decision about the new acquisition terms before October 18. Originally, Microsoft's agreement with ABK had a deadline of July 18, after which the Xbox company would be required to pay a $3 billion termination fee to Activision Blizzard. After the FTC trial, that deadline was extended by 90 days, to October 18, when it became clear that the pivotal CMA and FTC approvals would not be obtained in time. Sony Interactive Entertainment is acquiring U.S. headphone manufacturer Audeze. The move arrives mere months after the company added Firewalk Studios to its growing list of first-party PlayStation developers. Founded in 2008, Audeze is a California-based company that specializes in consumer-facing audio technologies with a focus on high-end headphones. Many of its product lines have been successfully catering to gamers for years by now, with Audeze currently enjoying its reputation as the manufacturer of some of the best wireless gaming headsets on the market. Enticed by the prospect of owning a premium headphone maker, Sony entered into an agreement to acquire Audeze, the company said Thursday. The conglomerate described the move as a continuation of its efforts to innovate in the gaming audio sphere. With Platform Experience SVP Hideaki Nishino stating that the acquisition will help the company keep delivering the best audio experience to PlayStation users. The executive also described the Audeze acquisition as a direct follow-up to the audio advancements accomplished with the Sony Pulse 3D wireless headset and Tempest 3D audio tech built into the PlayStation 5. Audeze CEO Sankar Thyagassamudram labeled the sale to Sony as a unique opportunity for scaling the manufacturer's business, which is still largely focused on the US. While the acquisition appears to be primarily motivated by Sony's desire to bolster its audio capabilities in the gaming space, Audeze will also continue creating products for recording professionals and audiophiles, the CEO explained. The company's current gaming offerings range from the $299 Penrose headphones to the $899 LCD GX headset. Meanwhile, its latest flagship product is the LCD 5, which retails at $4,500. Sony's plan is for Audeze to keep operating as an independent entity following the acquisition. Audeze is a premier brand for headphones, and this acquisition highlights Sony Interactive's focus on innovation and providing the best audio experience to PlayStation players, said SIE Senior Vice President of Platform Experience Hideaki Nishino. The financial terms of the newly announced transaction were not disclosed. And though Sony has yet to confirm when the acquisition is planned to go through, that's likely to happen in a matter of weeks, not least because smaller deals of this sort aren't subject to regulatory approvals that could slow them down. As for the exact value of the acquisition, data compiled by Crunchbase reveals that Audeze raised just under $500,000 in funding over its 15-year history, while its 2021 revenues are estimated to have reached $5 million. Given that company profile, Sony will presumably pay a low 8-digit sum for the US manufacturer. This move might not be the last of Sony's M&A activities in 2023. On the contrary, several recent developments suggested that Sony is actively looking for more acquisitions. Behaviour Interactive has acquired the Netherlands games studio CodeGlue. With the acquisition, CodeGlue will be rebranded into Behaviour Rotterdam. In 2000, the game developer was founded by Maurice Sibrandi and Peter de Jong. Its work includes porting the Shadowrun trilogy, Corpse Party, Blood Drive, and co-developing the title Action Henk. We are very pleased to build upon our strategic expansion into the UK by establishing our first presence in continental Europe, said Behaviour Interactive CEO Remy Racine. Behaviour Rotterdam is the third European expansion that Behaviour has seen within 6 months. Last month, the games firm opened its second studio in the UK. Its Behaviour UK South team comprises of former Antimatter Games staffers. In February 2023, Sock Monkey Studios, now Behaviour UK North, was purchased and became a part of the firm's services division. The Game Awards 2023 will take place on Thursday, December 7th in Los Angeles, California at the Peacock Theater. Since its beginnings in 2014, the Game Awards has become a massive annual event for the gaming industry. Not only does the Game Awards pay tribute to the biggest new game releases of the past year, but it is also home to big reveals and shock announcements from some of the industry's biggest players. The Game Awards gets bigger every year, as millions tune in to see the explosive world premieres as well as which game takes home the coveted Game of the Year prize. If the trend continues, the Game Awards 2023 will be the biggest iteration of the event to date, so fans should definitely be sure to mark their calendars. When the Game Awards 2023 goes live on December 7th, fans will have a ton of options to watch. The event will be viewable on Twitch, YouTube, Steam, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, with many more to be announced. As usual, fans can expect musical performances and celebrity appearances on top of all the big game reveals. It remains to be seen which games will be featured at this year's event, but when it comes to potential Game of the Year candidates, there are some titles that stand out as obvious possibilities. Baldur's Gate 3 and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom seem to be the front-runners when it comes to the Game of the Year category, though Street Fighter 6 and Final Fantasy 16 will likely get nominated as well. There are many other big games on the horizon for 2023 that could potentially find themselves nominated for Game of the Year too, with Starfield right around the corner along with Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and other major new releases. But whatever happens, it should be you who's the ultimate authority in what you like. And that's all for the video guys. Like and share the video for a greater audience. Comment your thoughts on the topics, and donations are always appreciated. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon, and until then from SMPV, it's goodbye.